What's up guys? Cobra are usually one of the boldest brands when it comes to golf club design, so this vintage series range seemed a little subdued compared to what I was expecting to see. The heads are mainly black in color, contrasting with white painted lines for alignment. The face is silver and you can clearly see the 4 lines from SIK's technology to indicate the changes in loft for each step. The sole of the putters features green-yellow lines and writing which are similar to the Radspeed metal and irons, but overall I felt the look was a little underwhelming. I feel like Cobra have spent all of their budget on the 3D printed range and then decided to add a more conventional putter range whilst they were at it. Despite the fact that the putters have the same SIK face as the 3D range, the ball just felt a little louder and firmer off the face in comparison and didn't really do a lot for me. When you try clubs, you want to compare them against other models, and on first impressions I was immediately more impressed with the 3D printed range. Performance. These putters were uninspiring during my testing, and I couldn't help but feel that they looked like poor copies of the tailor-made Spider and Odyssey No. 7 putters. To be honest, I'm never a massive fan of big head shapes like this anyway, so that probably wasn't a great start. Maybe I'll have to take a closer look at the blade models at some point. I'd describe the overall performance as okay, although nothing compared to the 3D range. They felt louder yet less stable, and the overall finish of the putters was not quite as good on closer inspection. Based on just looks and overall quality, I would be much more inclined to spend the extra £70 on the 3D range, as you'll look like a proper Cobra player, whilst benefiting from the added stability in the putter head. It's a real shame because I feel that Cobra have nailed the slightly cheaper woods and irons marketing while still managing to hold their identity. And these just don't seem to have the same Cobra feel as usual. The lack of overall quality was reflected in my performance too, as I didn't putt well with either the Nova or the Stingray. I struggled with keeping the club head square at impact, and the quality of the strike from the face was a little irregular. This surprised me a little, as the face is the same as in the 3D putters, but I didn't get the same consistency. If the 3D printed range was Cobra's attempt to go high-end and try something completely different, the vintage series just looks more like a range to fulfill that cheaper mass market area, which the brand has typically done so well in. Pros: cheaper than putter ranges from other major manufacturers. Great quality head covers. Cons: firmer feel than the 3D printed range. Stability wasn't great even in the high moa models. Cobra Vintage Series putters verdict. All in all, this was a bit of an uninspiring putter range other than the very logical face insert. I like SIK's idea of how the ball rolls of the face at impact. However, the feel didn't seem as good with this range as it did in the 3D printed range. At £200 it slots in a little cheaper than putter ranges for much of the major manufacturers, but in this case I think you get what you pay for. I'm afraid that I just didn't get on with these putters, which is a shame and a surprise, as I usually love Cobra and their value for money. Who are they aimed at? If you're a Cobra fan and you're looking for a slightly cheaper putter range which is under £200, then they may be worth a look. The SIK face is also certainly worth a try. Would I use them? I'm afraid not. For the same price, I'd be much more inclined to pick the Odyssey White Hot Dog Stroke Lab putter, or spend a little bit more cash to get one from the 3D printed range. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and if you have something to say, please leave a comment.